For more than 50 years, Bond girls have given Agent 007 a run for his money in the race to see who can be more compelling on the big screen. In celebration of that incredible legacy and the many actresses who've contributed to it, let's see what those Bond girls are up to today. Ursula Andress helped set the template for Bond girls when she appeared as Honey Rider in 1962's Dr. No. The scene in which she walks out of the ocean in a bikini is one of the franchise's most memorable entrances. She continued acting regularly through the 1980s, most prominently in 1981's Clash of the Titans. Her acting work slowed in the 90s, and she hasn't made a film since 2005. An Italian model and beauty queen, Daniela Bianchi's biggest acting role came as Tatiana Romanova in the second Bond film From Russia with Love. She retired from acting in 1970 to marry Italian businessman Alberto Camelli, though she has since appeared in documentary footage discussing her time as a Bond girl. For many, Honor Blackman is Pussy Galore, a villain who proves Bond's equal and ultimately switches sides for him in Goldfinger, is the quintessential Bond girl. Since that unforgettable role, Blackman has continued working regularly on stage and screen, and she's also enjoyed a singing career. Her most recent acting appearance was in an episode of You, Me, and Them in 2015. As Jill Masterson in Goldfinger, Shirley Eaton didn't have much screen time, but her death while covered in gold paint made her an icon. After Bond, Eaton continued acting in films like The Blood of Fu Manchu before retiring in 1969 to focus on raising her two sons. She published an autobiography in 1999, and she also enjoys painting and sculpture. Thunderball had a memorable and sexy villain in the form of Luciana Paluzzi as Spectre agent Fiona Volpe. The resulting fame kept her acting throughout the 60s and 70s. Since 1980, she's been married to American businessman Michael J. Solomon. She doesn't have any on-screen acting credits since then, though she has given interviews reflecting on her time as a Bond girl. Diana Rigg was already a star by the time she appeared as Bond's bride Tracy in 1969's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Since then, she's continued to work steadily in film, TV, and theater. She became a dame in 1994, and her most famous recent role was her Emmy-nominated turn as Queen Olenna Tyrell on Game of Thrones. Jill St. John played diamond smuggler Tiffany Case in Diamonds Are Forever, making her the first American Bond girl. She continued acting steadily until 2002, at which point she largely retired. Since 1990, she's been married to actor Robert Wagner. Her most recent screen appearance was as Mrs. Claus alongside Wagner as Santa in the 2014 Hallmark movie North Pole. Jane Seymour rocketed to worldwide fame in 1973 as the enigmatic Solitaire in Roger Moore's James Bond debut Live and Let Die. Since then, she's worked regularly in both film and TV, most famously as the title character on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. She's also an author of self-help and children's books, and she designed the Open Hearts collection of jewelry for Kay Jewelers. Britt Ekland's role as Miss Goodnight in The Man with the Golden Gun cemented her status as a sex symbol, and she continued acting well into the 80s. She was also famous for her high-profile relationships with Peter Sellers and Rod Stewart. In the past decade, she's shown up on a few reality TV shows, including the Swedish series Let's Dance in 2018. Barbara Bach achieved fame as Agent Anya Amasova in 1977's The Spy Who Loved Me. She continued to act in the 80s, but she hasn't appeared in a film since To the North of Kathmandu in 1986. Since 1981, she's been married to former Beatle Ringo Starr. She's also been active in charity work, forming the Self-Help Addiction Recovery Program in 1991. Lois Chiles was offered the female lead in The Spy Who Loved Me, but she was taking a hiatus from acting at the time and turned it down. But then a couple of years later, she accepted the role of Dr. Holly Goodhead in 1979's Moonraker. She continued acting throughout the 80s and 90s, and her most recent film role was in 2006's Kettle of Fish. French actress Carole Bouquet achieved international fame as the vengeance-seeking Melina Havelock in 1981's For Your Eyes Only. She's continued acting in dozens of films, plays, and TV series ever since. In 2014, she served on the jury of the Cannes Film Festival, and in 2017, she played a serial killer in the French miniseries La Montée. Maud Adams is unique among the actresses on this list for playing two different Bond girls. First, she was Andrea Anders in The Man with the Golden Gun, and then she was the title crime lord in 1983's Octopussy. She also even had an uncredited cameo in A View to a Kill. She continued to act regularly until largely retiring in the late 2000s. Tanya Roberts appeared as Stacey Sutton in 1985's A View to a Kill, and she continued to act regularly throughout the 90s before landing her most famous recent role as Donna's mother Midge on That 70s Show. She ultimately left the show in 2001, though she did return for a brief run of episodes in 2004. Her acting career has been largely inactive since then. In A View to a Kill, Grace Jones was instantly memorable as the deadly Mayday. She's continued to appear sporadically in films and TV in subsequent decades, but her major pursuit, as it was before Bond, is music. Since 1977, she's released 10 studio albums and remains one of the most distinctive performers of her generation. In 1987, Miriam Diabo kicked off the Timothy Dalton era as Cara Milovi in The Living Daylights. She's continued to work as an actress and model ever since. In 2002, she hosted the documentary Bond Girls Are Forever. In 2007, she suffered a near-fatal brain hemorrhage, from which she thankfully later recovered. Carrie Lowell played Pam Bouvier in 1989's License to Kill, and she's continued to act to this day. She had a major role as Jamie Ross on Law & Order beginning in 1996. In the mid-2010s, her divorce from Richard Gere was the subject of a 3-year legal battle. As of 2018, she's returned to TV with roles on Blue Bloods and Bull. In 1995, the Pierce Brosnan era of Bond began, complete with a new moneypenny in the form of Samantha Bond, who appeared in all 4 Brosnan films. Since the Brosnan era ended, she's continued to act in a little bit of everything. Her most recent high-profile role was Lady Rosamund Painswick on the hit series Downton Abbey. The Brosnan era also brought with it a new female M. Judi Dench played the head of MI6 as a tough, resourceful woman who could keep Bond in his place. She was so good that she stayed on into the Daniel Craig era until M's death in 2012's Skyfall. And since she is Dame Judi Dench, her career has kept chugging along. In 2019, she will be seen in adaptations of Artemis Fowl and Cats.
And you get to boss him about, and there is a very special relationship, I think, between Bond and M.
Isabella Scorupco was already a successful model, singer, and actress when she was cast as Natalia in 1995's GoldenEye. Her other memorable acting work includes roles in Exorcist, The Beginning, and Reign of Fire. In 2011, she returned to singing with a collaboration with Swedish vocalist Peter Jöback. And in 2012, she served as a host of Sweden's Next Top Model. Famke Janssen achieved breakout success as Xenia Onatopp in GoldenEye.
Xenia Sergeyevna Onatopp.
Onatopp?
Onatopp.
The role rocketed her to stardom and helped land her the role of Jean Grey in the X-Men franchise. Since then, she's acted regularly in the likes of Taken and Hemlock Grove. She will soon be seen in the Netflix original series Central Park 5. Michelle Yeoh established herself throughout the 1990s as a major player in Hong Kong action cinema before breaking out worldwide in 1997's Tomorrow Never Dies. In 2000, she again wowed international audiences in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and has continued big screen success ever since, most recently in Crazy Rich Asians. Terry Hatcher appeared in Tomorrow Never Dies as Paris Carver, a former flame of Bond who's now the trophy wife of a villainous media mogul. She was already a TV superstar with Lois and Clark, and after Bond, she had another big hit in the form of Desperate Housewives. More recently, she's returned to the world of DC Comics with a recurring role on the CW's Supergirl. Denise Richards was at the height of her fame when she played Christmas Jones in 1999's The World Is Not Enough. Since then, she's continued to appear in plenty of films and taken on a career as a reality TV personality. She starred in her own series, Denise Richards' It's Complicated, and in 2019 she joined the cast of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. French actress Sophie Marceau achieved blockbuster success as the villainous Electra King in The World Is Not Enough. She's continued to work steadily as an actress, writer, and director ever since. In 2002, she made her featured directorial debut with Speak to Me of Love. And in 2015, she served on the main competition jury for the Cannes Film Festival. Oscar winner Halle Berry was already a major star when she played Jinx in Pierce Brosnan's final Bond film, 2002's Die Another Day. Her career has suffered a few missteps along the way, but she's rebounded and continued to work steadily in film and TV. Among her most notable projects since Bond are a return to the X-Men series and Kingsman: The Golden Circle. The Daniel Craig era required a memorable Bond girl to kick things off, and it got one with Ava Green as Vesper Lynd in Casino Royale. The role made Green an international star. She's since gone on to roles in the likes of Penny Dreadful and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. In 2019, she can be seen in Tim Burton's live-action Dumbo remake. After a successful modeling career, Ukrainian-born French actress Olga Kurylenko landed the role of Camille Montez in 2008's Quantum of Solace. She has since continued to earn high-profile roles in films like Oblivion, The Death of Stalin, and Johnny English Strikes Again. As of 2018, she lives in London with her son and boyfriend. Naomi Harris was a 10-year veteran of film acting by the time she landed the part of the third big-screen Moneypenny in Skyfall, and she immediately won fans over with her portrayal. She reprised the role in 2015's Spectre and has since garnered acclaim for her work in Moonlight and appeared in major releases including Rampage and Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Léa Seydoux has been acting for more than a decade, but in many ways, her career is still very young. She achieved international acclaim in 2013 for her role in Blue is the Warmest Color, and parlayed that into her role as Dr. Madeline Swan in 2015's Spectre. She's expected to reprise her role for the 25th Bond film in 2020, a rare repeat performance for a Bond girl. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.